Notice one thing about Jay-Z. He speaks less and less and less on anything now. Before, he might have said his opinion maybe on something, maybe. But you probably can, hard to find it. But now you won't hear him speak on nothing. You look at Jordan. He's never really spoke on anything. But now he will never speak on anything. Because you got to understand something. There's very few people who enter that club, right? And you already have, you may have a couple of things.
What about
working against you.
Kanye?
Kanye's different breed. He like Elon, different breed.
Kanye's sick.
What about
Different
Elon?
breed. Different breed.
Elon's sick.
Different breed. You
But
you can't even compare
though.
them.
You talking,
You
but
look
you
at
ain't talk. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, but you look at other people who are billionaires. They even look at them as oddities. So you gotta look at that. You know what I'm saying? Look at Warren Buffett.
We to be able to say that though.
Look at look
at
at Warren Buffett. Warren Buffett will look at, and I'm just saying this in general. He looks at Donald Trump not as
because
a
it's class.
businessman.
It's levels to it.
That's what we speaking on.
levels to
But
it.
that's what we speaking on.
But we can't speak with nigga, we here, we podcasting.
But I'm referencing other billionaires who've spoken on people who either just now become a billionaire,
Okay.
who was coming up in class. Like, for example, like I said, Warren Buffett spoke on Donald Trump, and he was like, he ain't really like no business. He spoke on Elon. And I'm not saying Warren Buffett knows everything, but my point is, you gotta, if anything, if you sit back and pay attention how someone moves, you can't learn everything, but you can learn something.
You supposed to be able to learn something from the nigga on the corner that's
Of
sitting there
course.
with no clothes on.
Of course, but we just,
Feel me?
but in this point, we're just speaking on the people who got a lot of money. Now, I agree with you. You can learn something from anybody. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? And
like-
you should. But at the same time, if all I'm saying is that if you notice a trend, people who have a lot of money, they do not get themselves in the middle of the mess.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? They
Absolutely.
don't. Now, like rich people do, but wealthy people, they do not. Rich being people who got a lot of money, but they don't know how to sustain it. They don't get assets. They don't know how to make money off of money on a longer period of time. Yeah, those people who don't know how to do that, they'll
But
say
how
everything.
did we get here though? How did we get to this point where we
I
now
don't
we
know.
talk?
But
What
we,
the fuck did this come
but we
from?
giving final words right now, though.
This
We're
is
giving
musing
final words.
around, bro. That's what we do.
Nigga, this get,
On the
now
show,
we
bro.
talking about now. Nigga don't want to even say shit. Nigga, what the fuck are we talking about? We
But
talking
let's-
about billion. I don't even. What the fuck?
Whoop to you.
I'm down. Cuz.
Let's give final words. Let's give
This
final.
nigga tripping.
I'm gonna start with Ash. We won't let you go last, kid, because you want to show you the guest.
Okay, look, I would just say this is that when it comes down to everything, there are levels to everything. And I think when it comes down to like wealth, power, everything, there's always more things that are optical to what we see. You know, like, look, we'll see things, but we don't really know what's happening.
Of course.
And I think that Dame is a genius, and I think that Dame is an archetype of a businessman, and I think he does really well. I just think he just chose a different path. And I think within that path, it's led him here, but he's still famous. We're still talking about him. So he's still not fucked. So all I'm trying to say is when you got a person like him, you can never count him out. But then never again, I will also say this, is that Jay-Z chose a different route. And the other route, obviously, we didn't get to in this podcast tonight, but there's a different route you can choose. And you can be more discreet. You can do other things. And you can cozy up with other people. And, you know,